The Ravens, though, the first in the AFC to hit 11 wins in this conference, clutch road win in a meaningful way against Jacksonville last night.
So impressive. And I think the one thing when you look at them and you look at Lamar Jackson, and sometimes you'll turn and you'll go on the line and you'll look at the stats from the game. Blah, Lamar was okay. It didn't seem like a crazy game. But when you watch it, what he does for this Baltimore Ravens team, the spark that he has, and how demoralizing it is for a defense as you watch him just sit in the pocket, scramble, do so many different things that just feel like it's unstoppable for you on defense. And Kyle just hit it in the highlights as we're watching it. Dwayne Smoot is trying to get to Lamar Jackson on the long one. Likely, he gets up and he just looks at him. He's like, how? And we're watching him stand in the pocket play after play. When he has to scramble and make something happen, he does that. But there's instances throughout that game last night where he's just standing still, waiting for somebody to get open and then make the play. Had 97 yards rushing on the ground. For this team and this offense, watching what Lamar's been able to do this season and how he's changed with Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator, we just said they're at the one seed. They clinched their playoff spot. To me, they're the scariest team in the AFC, and we see it from where they're ranked. But the potential they have, we'll watch a game where Zay Flowers goes off and he has a touchdown late in the game, and Lamar's throwing the ball all over the field against the Rams. And then we watch him last night where he's scrambling and making plays, and a guy like Isaiah Likely is stepping up. So for this Ravens team, there's different guys that can kill you on any given day, and Lamar's still the guy at the helm, spreading the ball out and making it happen.
What did we learn about last week? The Lion Spike. Is that what we got? The Lion Spike.
Yeah.
The Ravens give it out in their locker room to the player that puts the game away. Tylan Wallace got it last week. His first punt return of his NFL career, thrown into action when Devin Duvernay was injured. Returns it for a touchdown. They escape a crazy shootout with the Rams, and they win. The Lion Spike was determined at the spot at the end of the third quarter when it's Lamar Jackson making the play of what I think the season for the Ravens. 10-7, they're winning. It's a big play, and let's let Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth take it away. The Lamar Jackson experience.
Final minute of the third. From the 30, Lamar Jackson got out of a would-be sack, keeps it alive, and flings it in the air. It is brought in by Likely at the 5. Isaiah Likely goes up between Darius Williams and Andrew Wingard and makes a spectacular catch.
Oh my God, look at this play. This is ridiculous. Coming over here. Okay, you got a sack, right? No problem. I missed him. I'm going to go get him again. Get him again. No, just throw it up in the air, and then let's have Likely go between two guys. Stop it.
There's your Lion Spike moment, and there's your Chris Collinsworth potential MVP moment. I mean, when you hear the guffawing Collinsworth, that's usually reserved for maybe Mahomes, Josh Allen. Gives it for Lamar right there, though. Wow.
He hit an octave, too.
And it put him away, and that was it for the Jaguars. And that really did put the Lion Spike into the AFC playoff picture, and them saying, hey, we're that number one team. Gus Edwards would score 2 plays later. That was the game, and they would just bury the Jaguars from that point on. Lamar's doing special things. The numbers aren't going to add up to some of the other contenders for the MVP award, but when they need him most in big spots, Lamar has always been there this season, and he seems to be getting seemingly better as the season goes on.
We do a lot of bits and segments around the holiday. We're on Christmas Day. We do give each other gifts and stuff. I think we need to get Peter a Lion Spike. So we got to track one down. Maybe Chad Steele could help us with that.
Or
what?
We might need to take a little Good Morning Football trip to the jungle and find our own. Because
I was going to say,
I
let's
don't.
do crafts.
Yeah, we'll have to do our own.
Got to go
here.
earn his Lion
Get a
Spike.
spike. Put a
Yeah.
lion on top
Peter,
of
you've
it.
earned the Lion Spike.
Thank
It's
you.
been a long year. Listen, you said it right there. Baltimore. Great defense, Lamar magic. I'll run with that anywhere. Those two ingredients. I said it during the highlight. Whoever plays the team is going to be a really, really tough out. And I think we're supposed to be talking right. I think we were worried that we were going to be talking about Mark Andrews. Lamar's not the same. And then Mark Andrews. No. Lamar threw it to 9 different players last night. The week before was just the same. We do that with teams when they struggle. Like I remember for a good 6 weeks on this show with the Bills, we would say, Matt Milano. They lost Matt Milano. And like we put Matt Milano in the Hall of Fame after he got injured. I'm so pleased that I'm the only one bringing up Mark Andrews because as good of a player he is, he's not relevant right now because of everybody else. They're moving on. Lamar looks seamless. He looks comfortable. I say it all the time. There's nothing better in this league than happy Lamar. It's so fun to watch. It's so contagious. And right now in December, I liken it to when if you ever go to the horse track, There's something called the paddock, all right? The paddock is the last place where they walk the racehorses around before the track. It's like you get your last look at them. Maybe you're thinking about who you want to bet on or whatever, and they just kind of march them around. It's real show pony stuff, and then they go race. December right now, this is our paddock month for these teams. We're going to get one last look, and you better be ready because the race starts in January. Jacksonville doesn't look ready. They don't look good in the paddock. I don't know. Dallas does not look good in the paddock. We're going to see how the Eagles look in the paddock. Right now, Baltimore looks great in the paddock. You're like, well, that's a horse I can bet on. That number 8 on the side of the saddle, that's a horse that's going to run, that looks ready, that looks been there before. Just a great showing last night on the road. This was not really a game. I feel like it was over at the end of the first half and the Jaguars couldn't get 3 points, and like Baltimore just led the whole way. Tough out. They look ready to run.
Kyle, I like your shirt today.
Thank you.
Rocky 1 was on the TV in my hotel room this weekend.
Oh, really?
In Indianapolis, and I caught the great part of it, which is Paulie doesn't want the relationship to happen, and the trainer, and then the montage. And so, you know, when he's sprinting along the water, and he's had a pretty good run, he's been jogging with his dog, and then Rocky, all of a sudden you're like, is he running? Oh, he's running faster. Oh my God, look at that man's stride. It is the thing of beauty. This is how I feel about the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
I thought they were running since week 11, and now they're getting faster. And anyone else beside the Chiefs, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, they've all lost games since week 11, and the Baltimore Ravens have not. You thought the game was over at the end of the first half last night. The Ravens had only run for 47 yards at the end of the first half, and they finished with 251 rushing yards to finish that game. Other teams that accomplished that this weekend are teams like the Bills, the Colts. They ran the ball down teams' throats in the AFC this weekend, and that's going to be a key when your sprint really breaks out in December.
No doubt.
The paddock and the Rocky, and it's great.
The Eagles, I don't know how we feel about appropriating the Rocky storyline for Baltimore, but take it back.
You know what?
We need it from you guys.
Sometimes you can't turn it away when it shows up on your hotel room TV.
And it's nice that you went for the Baltimore Ravens. It was something other than The Wire. It's always The Wire.
I know.
They can do something else, right?
Can't do it.